Have you ever pondered the fascinating journey that maps have made through history? How have they evolved from simple drawings on cave walls to the sophisticated digital maps we use today? But in the midst of this evolution, there exists a curious oddity: the Pinkerton map of 1818. This map presents a version of Antarctica that's strikingly different from the ice-covered wilderness we know. So let's navigate through the rich history of cartography and unravel the mystery of the Pinkerton map. Let's begin our journey with a look at the dawn of cartography, the study and practice of making maps. You see, our ancestors from as far back as the Upper Paleolithic era were the first to feel the urge to document their surroundings. The earliest examples of maps date back around 14,000 years as cave paintings. These cave paintings, found in various locations around the world, such as the Lascaux Caves in France or the Adora Caves in Italy, didn't depict vast landscapes or complex geographical elements. Instead, they focused on local areas, often depicting hunting grounds or animal migration patterns. Moving forward to around 2300 BC, we come across the ancient city of Nippur, located in modern-day Iraq. Here, a town plan engraved on a clay tablet stands as one of the oldest known maps, providing a more detailed and organized representation of human settlements. This was an epochal shift, as it showed that humans had started understanding their spatial relation to the surroundings, a fundamental concept in map-making. Then came the maps of ancient Egypt, primarily used for tax collection purposes, which showed the course of the Nile and the locations of different estates. There were also the early cave drawings in China, including the ancient star maps etched onto the ceilings of the Dunhuang caves, indicating an understanding of celestial navigation. The Greeks, renowned for their mathematical prowess, revolutionized map-making. The works of Anaximander, Herodotus, and particularly Eratosthenes set the stage for the methodical science of map-making. These maps were limited in their geographical scope, mostly documenting the Mediterranean and Near East regions. However, these initial strides in cartography were more than just lines on clay, parchment, or stone. They were indicative of humanity's innate desire to understand, navigate, and make sense of the world around us. And this, my friends, was just the beginning. As we arrive at my favorite part now, we're going to delve into the Pinkerton World Map, a unique artifact from the 19th century cartographic world. Named after its creator, Scottish cartographer John Pinkerton, the map presents a view of the world that both embodied the understanding of its time and hinted at the mysteries still unsolved. Created in the early 1800s, the Pinkerton map offers a remarkably detailed depiction of the continents, particularly given the technology of the era. It reflects an era of burgeoning imperialism and exploration, with territories often drawn along colonial lines. The major continents of Europe, Asia, Africa, and the Americas are laid out with striking detail, but our focus here is particularly on the depiction of the less explored and most mysterious continent, Antarctica. Pinkerton's map is interesting because it leaves Antarctica largely a mystery, a stark contrast to the detailed portrayals of the other continents. Antarctica is partially depicted, suggesting the cartographer's awareness of a southern landmass, yet its true extent and shape remain ambiguous. This limited representation reflects the prevailing knowledge about Antarctica at the time. It was a place shrouded in mystery, with its icy interior largely unexplored. The incomplete depiction of Antarctica can be attributed to the fact that the Pinkerton map predates the first confirmed sighting of the Antarctic mainland by the Russian expedition, led by Fabian Gottlieb von Bellingshausen and Mikhail Lazarev in 1820. It's interesting to note that the map's portrayal of Antarctica is largely conjectural, pieced together from the accounts of whalers and explorers who had ventured into the frigid Southern Ocean and had reported sightings of icebergs and land. This incomplete depiction of the Antarctic continues to fuel various conspiracy theories and speculative fiction about lost civilizations and hidden treasures. The Pinkerton map stands as a tantalizing testament to the time when the world still had blank spots, spaces left for the unknown and the imagined, spaces that ignited human curiosity and the spirit of exploration. Now let's shift our focus on the fascinating mystery of Antarctica as it pertains to cartography and history. The Pinkerton map, with its conspicuously incomplete portrayal of Antarctica, only deepens the allure surrounding this icy continent. But why has Antarctica become the focal point of so many mysteries and theories? Well, first, let's establish some facts about this southernmost continent. It's the coldest, windiest, and most isolated place on Earth. Covered by ice that averages more than a mile thick, Antarctica remained unknown and unseen by humans until the early 19th century. Even today, it's largely uninhabited, save for scientists residing in research stations. This extreme remoteness and inaccessibility, coupled with its late discovery, has fueled speculation and mystery for centuries. Over the years, Antarctica has been subject to numerous theories and conjectures. Some have hypothesized that it could be the location of the lost city of Atlantis, the mythical civilization described by Plato. Others propose that the continent might be home to secret military bases or even alien outposts. Theories have also emerged suggesting the presence of vast networks of warm rivers and lakes beneath the icy surface capable of supporting life. While much of this is speculative and unproven, it does highlight our enduring fascination with this largely unknown territory. From a cartographic perspective, Antarctica is also interesting due to the numerous anomalies and discrepancies that have appeared in maps over the centuries. For instance, the Piri Reis map, created by a Turkish admiral in the 16th century, allegedly shows Antarctica without its ice, a detail that continues to baffle researchers given the map's age. Moreover, even after Antarctica's official discovery, it was often inaccurately depicted or entirely omitted from many maps, further adding to its mystique. As we continue to explore and understand this unique continent, we unravel more of its secrets. Yet despite our advances in technology and exploration, Antarctica retains an aura of mystery, captured so well in the incomplete rendering on the Pinkerton map. It serves as a reminder of the vast frontiers yet to be fully explored and understood on our own planet. Moving on, we enter the era of a man named Claudius Ptolemy, an astronomer, mathematician, and above all, a geographer who lived in the Roman Empire in the 2nd century AD. Ptolemy's contributions to cartography were pivotal in the development of the discipline, shaping it into the science we know today. In his revolutionary work, Geographia, Ptolemy compiled and consolidated the geographical knowledge of the Roman Empire. But he did much more than just provide a list of places and their locations. Ptolemy introduced the use of longitudes and latitudes in the form of a gridded network. This system was a significant development in map-making, allowing for a standardized way to express location and navigate across the globe. However, it wasn't just about the mathematical precision. Ptolemy also introduced the idea of projecting the spherical Earth onto a two-dimensional surface, which we know is a fundamental challenge in map-making. His most famous projection, known as the Ptolemaic projection, distorted size to maintain accurate shapes, a concept widely used in modern cartography. Ptolemy's work was remarkable for its time, but it was not without errors. For instance, he greatly underestimated the Earth's circumference, leading to a smaller, more condensed representation of the known world. Despite these inaccuracies, Ptolemy's influence on the science of cartography cannot be overstated. He paved the way for the explorers of the Middle Ages, who used his system of latitude and longitude to navigate the world's oceans. His works, rediscovered and translated into Latin around the 15th century, became a basis for Renaissance mapmakers and explorers pushing the boundaries of the known world. Now let us dive into the Age of Exploration, a period ranging from the 15th to the 17th century that was marked by extensive overseas exploration from European powers. This era of curiosity and daring gave rise to the intricate science of modern cartography and saw unprecedented advances in mapmaking. In this era, the discovery of new lands and sea routes necessitated the creation of accurate maps. Cartographers began to adopt a system of projection influenced by Ptolemy that allowed them to draw the Earth's round surface on a flat piece of paper. They employed advanced techniques and principles to represent the Earth's features realistically, showing coastlines, bodies of water, and significant landmarks. One notable figure during this period was Gerardus Mercator, a Flemish cartographer whose 1569 world map introduced a cylindrical projection known as the Mercator projection. His projection preserved the angles and shapes of land masses, a critical feature for navigation, but resulted in significant distortion of size as you move away from the equator. Meanwhile, the Portuguese cartographer Pedro Reinel created the oldest known signed Portuguese nautical chart around 1504. His works, alongside other cartographers from the Lisbon School of Cartography, were instrumental in the development of nautical charts with their focus on practical use for navigation. However, the age of exploration wasn't just about European cartographers. Globally, various cultures were developing their own techniques for mapping. For instance, the indigenous people of the Marshall Islands in the Pacific Ocean used stick charts, which employed shells and sticks to represent waves and islands. The maps from this period reflected not just geographical knowledge, but also the political and cultural context of their time. They often included fantastical beasts and mythical lands, reflecting the sense of wonder and mystery that was characteristic of the age of exploration. It was an age of intrigue, discovery, and the quest to conquer the unknown. Finally, at last, we arrive at our present day, the era of digital cartography and satellite imaging. But don't let modernity fool you. Today's techniques carry on the rich tradition of the past, albeit in vastly more complex and sophisticated ways. However, even with all the technology at our disposal, the challenge of capturing our planet's intricate details remains, offering a captivating blend of art, science, and technology. In the modern era, we've graduated from parchment and ink to GPS and satellite imagery. But despite this shift in medium, the essence of cartography, understanding and representing our world, remains unchanged. The advent of satellite technology has allowed us to map the entire globe with an unprecedented level of detail and accuracy. From the comfort of our homes, we can explore remote corners of the Earth, observe changing weather patterns, and even monitor the movements of wildlife. Google Earth, for instance, is an incredible example of modern cartography. It compiles satellite imagery and aerial photography to produce a 3D representation of the Earth's surface, accessible to anyone with an internet connection. It has democratized the world of maps, allowing anyone to become an armchair explorer. But it's not just about exploration. Modern cartography plays a critical role in urban planning, disaster response, climate studies, and much more. Geographic Information Systems, or GIS, integrate spatial data with other types of data to help us understand patterns and relationships in the world around us. From tracking the spread of diseases to optimizing public transport routes, GIS has become an essential tool in diverse fields. And yet, in all this progress, maps still carry an element of subjectivity. Mercator projections, commonly used in online maps, can distort sizes of countries near the poles, leading to misconceptions. No map can perfectly represent the Earth's spherical surface on a flat plane without some form of distortion. So even today, the art of map-making involves trade-offs and choices, echoing the challenges faced by ancient cartographers. In conclusion, whether we're peering down from satellites or analyzing data on our computers, we continue the timeless pursuit of understanding our place in the world. From early star charts to Pinkerton's world map, to the hyper-detailed maps of today, we've made immense strides. And yet, as the mysteries of Antarctica remind us, there are always new frontiers waiting to be charted. Did you know that the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth was -128.6 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was recorded in Antarctica? But what if I told you that beneath this hostile, frigid expanse, there might be traces of ancient civilizations? Sounds outlandish, doesn't it? But stick with me, because this icy mystery is a rabbit hole that goes deep into our past. Today we're going to delve into a world that is often overlooked in our discourse about ancient civilizations, the frozen continent of Antarctica. Now, Antarctica might be the last place you would think of when it comes to ancient civilizations. After all, it's the coldest, windiest, and driest continent, a harsh landscape covered in ice up to a mile thick. It's seemingly inhospitable, an icy wilderness that is the definition of desolation. And yet, what if I told you that this freezing wasteland may have once been a bustling hub of ancient activity? Through the ages, Antarctica has been subject to a variety of hypotheses and theories. It has always been a source of mystery, partly due to its inaccessibility and the harsh conditions that make exploration a formidable challenge. Some theories suggest that this continent, now hidden beneath miles of ice, was once home to ancient civilizations that we can hardly imagine. These theories often hinge on controversial interpretations of satellite imagery, ancient maps, and unique structures spotted under the ice, suggesting human or perhaps even non-human activity. One of the most famous pieces of evidence is the Piri Reis map. a pre-modern world map compiled in 1513 by the Ottoman admiral and cartographer Piri Reis. Part of this map shows the northern part of Antarctica, ice-free, which has led to speculations about ancient maritime civilizations with advanced geographical knowledge. Critics, however, argue that the map is a compilation of multiple sources, some of which may have been flawed. Satellite imagery of Antarctica has also led to intrigue and speculation. In 2006, Google Earth users spotted a formation in Antarctica that looked uncannily like a face, leading to suggestions of a lost civilization. Scientists, however, think that this is a natural phenomenon known as pareidolia, where the mind perceives a familiar pattern where none actually exists. The most provocative theories suggest that ancient alien civilizations could have once made their home on the icy continent, pointing towards supposed pyramid-like structures visible beneath the ice, though these claims are yet to find any substantial scientific backing. So, what is the truth? Is it possible that an ancient civilization could have once existed in this inhospitable landscape? Or are these theories the products of overactive imaginations and misinterpreted data? It's time for us to embark on a journey of exploration and discovery into the icy depths of Antarctica. We're all familiar with the mysteries of the ancient world, but Antarctica's mysteries are, well, colder and much more unusual. There are theories that take our understanding of ancient civilizations and flip it on its head, painting a picture of a past that is both startling and thought-provoking. Let's delve into some of these unconventional theories, each with its unique blend of mystery, speculation, and a dash of audaciousness. The first, and perhaps the most known, is the hypothesis that Antarctica is the lost continent of Atlantis. Proponents of this theory suggest that around 12,000 years ago, the entire continent was shifted from a temperate zone to the South Pole due to Earth's crust displacement, a controversial idea put forward by Charles Hapgood in the 1950s. This cataclysmic event, they suggest, froze the sophisticated Atlantean civilization in a matter of days, preserving it beneath the ice. But what about those pyramid-like structures I mentioned earlier? Some theorize that these are remnants of this ancient civilization. These structures, visible via satellite, bear an uncanny resemblance to the pyramids of Egypt and Central America. However, most scientists argue that these pyramid-like formations are likely the result of natural erosion and wind patterns unique to Antarctica. And then there's the theory of an ancient extraterrestrial outpost in Antarctica. It's been suggested that some of the unusual formations and anomalies found on the continent may be the remains of alien technology or structures. Proponents of this idea often cite supposed UFO sightings and unexplained phenomena in the region. But again, these claims have not found widespread acceptance in the scientific community. And let's not forget the speculation surrounding ancient maps, like the Piri Reis and Orontius Phineas maps, which seem to depict the Antarctic coastline free of ice, suggesting that the cartographers had knowledge of the continent long before it was officially discovered. Skeptics, however, argue that these maps are based on guesswork and mistaken interpretations of other landmasses. The Piri Reis map has long been a subject of fascination among historians, cartographers, and conspiracy theorists alike. Drawn in 1513 by Ottoman admiral and cartographer Piri Reis, this map illustrates parts of Europe, Africa, and the Americas with surprising accuracy for the time. But the intrigue doesn't stop there. The southernmost portion of the map seems to depict the northern coastline of Antarctica, a landmass not officially discovered until 1820. But how is that possible? Some proponents of unconventional theories suggest that the map is evidence of an advanced ancient civilization that had detailed geographical knowledge long before modern science. They argue that the Piri Reis map, along with other similar cartographic anomalies, proves that ancient mariners must have charted the Antarctic coast when it was free of ice, a situation that hasn't existed for over 34,000 years according to current scientific understanding. The details of the Piri Reis map are remarkable. It is said to include mountain ranges that were not discovered until the advent of modern seismic surveys, and even features a detailed depiction of the Andean Range in South America, which is surprisingly accurate for a 16th century map. However, skeptics caution against reading too much into these observations. They argue that the map's supposed depiction of Antarctica could be based on a misunderstanding of the South American coastline. As for the extraordinary detail, they suggest that this could be the result of synthesis from a variety of sources, some of which may have contained errors or embellishments. Despite the debate, one fact remains. The Piri Reis map is an extraordinary piece of historical cartography. It offers a glimpse into the knowledge and skill of early 16th century navigators and the seafaring cultures that produced them. And although the debate around the Piri Reis map and its implications for our understanding of ancient civilizations will likely continue, it undeniably continues to add a layer of mystery to that is Antarctica. As we continue to dig deeper into our past, we are left pondering, what else is waiting to be discovered? As you might expect, the scientific community's perspective on the possibility of ancient civilizations in Antarctica is rooted in a careful analysis of available evidence and our current understanding of geology, climate history, and human development. Firstly, Antarctica is and has been for millions of years the coldest, driest, and windiest continent, with temperatures that can drop below -80 degrees Celsius. Surviving in such conditions would be a monumental challenge for any civilization, ancient or modern. Thus, the idea of a long-lost society thriving in this frozen landscape seems unlikely. In terms of geology and climate history, our current understanding tells us that Antarctica has been covered in ice for about 34 million years. This was confirmed by ice cores drilled deep into the Antarctic ice sheet, which provide a record of past climates. This leads us to question, if Antarctica has been an icy wasteland for millions of years, how could an ancient civilization have existed there? Furthermore, the timeline of human evolution and migration also complicates the idea of an ancient Antarctic civilization. Modern humans are believed to have emerged around 300,000 years ago, and our ancestors began to migrate out of Africa about 70,000 years ago. But even if they could have reached Antarctica, the extreme conditions would have made survival virtually impossible. That said, the scientific community is not dismissive of all unconventional ideas. The Piri Reis map, for instance, does raise interesting questions about the knowledge of ancient seafarers. However, rather than attributing this to a lost civilization, most scientists would likely view it as a testament to the skill and knowledge of the historical societies that we already know about. Let's delve into the realm of the deepest human-made hole and consider the climatic history of Antarctica. The title for the deepest humans have drilled into the Earth goes to the Kola Super Deep Borehole, located in Russia. This ambitious drilling project reached a staggering depth of about 7.5 miles or 12 kilometers before it was stopped in the early 1990s. Even this depth, however, is still less than 0.2% of the Earth's total radius. As for Antarctica, deep ice cores have been drilled, but these extend only a few kilometers down, providing a record of hundreds of thousands of years of Earth's climate history. This brings us to the climatic past of Antarctica. According to geologists, Antarctica has not always been the frozen land we know today. The continent was once part of the supercontinent Gondwana, which existed in the southern hemisphere millions of years ago. Fossil records indicate that Gondwana was home to a variety of plant and animal life, suggesting a much warmer climate. Around 180 million years ago, Gondwana started to break apart. Antarctica slowly moved to its present location over the South Pole, and by about 34 million years ago, the continent was rapidly cooling. This cooling trend culminated in the formation of a permanent ice sheet. However, while there were fluctuations in the extent of the ice cover due to global climate cycles, Antarctica has been largely icy for millions of years. There are indeed hypotheses suggesting that parts of Antarctica could have been ice-free and warmer during certain periods due to factors like geothermal heat and changes in Earth's orbit. However, these periods likely occurred millions of years ago, well before humans existed. Thus, while Antarctica may have once been a warmer, hospitable place, this would have been in a geological era far removed from the advent of human civilization. Despite this, the question of Antarctica's past and its secrets continue to captivate scientists and explorers, keeping the icy continent firmly in the realm of intriguing exploration. What if I told you that one of the most secretive and mysterious places on Earth is also one of the coldest? A place that holds hidden mountain ranges, alien-like landscapes, and clandestine meetings of the world's most influential figures. a place that has been agreed upon by nearly every nation to remain untouched, yet is the subject of countless expeditions and rumors of covert operations. We're talking about Antarctica, a land of snow and ice and a hotbed of intrigue. So let's embark on a chilling journey to the world's southernmost continent, shall we? Antarctica, Earth's southernmost continent, home to sub-zero temperatures, colossal glaciers, and a distinct lack of permanent residents. But this isn't just a barren, icy wilderness. In fact, it's a place that piques our collective curiosity. Could this frozen wasteland be teeming with secrets just waiting to be uncovered? Antarctica boasts an array of fascinating and unique geographic features, the likes of which can't be found anywhere else on Earth. Its expansive ice sheets, the largest single mass of ice on our planet, are powerful enough to influence global weather patterns and sea levels. Beneath this icy surface lies a diverse landscape of mountains, valleys, and even subglacial lakes, their secrets perfectly preserved by the unforgiving cold. Amid these extreme conditions, life persists. Antarctica is home to a rich array of wildlife, from the regal emperor penguins to the tiny hardy tardigrades. Yet human habitation here is temporary and limited, with no native or permanent residents. The people who do venture here are usually scientists living in research stations, studying everything from climate change to astrobiology, in conditions that are as close as we can get to those on other planets. And then, of course, there's the ominous polar night. And for about half the year, the sun never rises over the Antarctic horizon, plunging the continent into months of relentless darkness. Imagine standing there, beneath the ethereal glow of the aurora australis, the frozen plains stretching out before you as far as the eye can see, untouched and silent. It's in this profound silence and isolation that one begins to wonder, what secrets does Antarctica hold? Why do people, some of them very influential, visit this icy, inhospitable wilderness? Could there be clandestine meetings occurring in the hushed silence of its frozen expanse? Antarctica's enduring allure lies in its isolation, its extreme conditions, and its inaccessibility. It's a place that challenges our understanding of life and survival, a testament to nature's raw power and resilience. It's a place of mystery and beauty, of ice and isolation. But the real question that hangs over this icy wilderness is this: what secrets does it hold? Let's start by exploring the enigma that is Antarctica. So we've talked about the famous faces who've been to Antarctica and the ambiguities surrounding their trips. But what about the mysterious missions that have taken place in this frozen wasteland? Because as it turns out, Antarctica has been the stage for several undertakings that still baffle us today. Let's begin with Operation High Jump. This expedition, led by the United States Navy in 1946, was officially a scientific and exploratory mission. But the scale was staggering. Around 4,000 personnel, 13 ships and numerous aircraft were involved, making it the largest Antarctic expedition ever. Officially, the mission was to establish a research base and to test military hardware in extreme conditions. Yet the operation ended abruptly, well before the planned 8-month duration. Why was that? Well, the official explanation was unfavorable weather conditions, but conspiracy theorists suggest there might be more to it. Another significant event was the Soviet Union's Antarctic expeditions in the late 1950s and 60s, particularly the establishment of the Vostok Station. Beneath this station lies the hidden Lake Vostok, a vast untouched body of water cut off from the world for possibly millions of years. Could the Soviet Union have been interested in something more than just scientific research? But perhaps one of the most intriguing stories of Antarctic exploration is the British Operation Tabarin of 1943. Officially, this mission aimed to provide a British presence in the Antarctic, denying access to the area for enemy ships and submarines during World War II. But the secrecy surrounding it, plus the establishment of permanently occupied bases, led to speculations about potential ulterior motives. All these missions, while draped in the mantle of science and exploration, had undertones of military strategy, geopolitical influence, or, according to some, even darker purposes. Whether it was the Americans, the Soviets, or the British, each expedition left behind a legacy of unanswered questions. What were these nations truly seeking in the vast, icy expanse of Antarctica? The answers, much like the continent itself, remain in mystery and ice. Now, you may be wondering, who are these high-profile visitors we're talking about? Well, Over the years, there have been several intriguing instances of noted individuals journeying to the Antarctic. Let's delve into a few of these enigmatic encounters. One of the most famous figures to visit Antarctica was none other than the Secretary of State of the United States, John Kerry. This happened in 2016 during the last days of his term in office. What makes this trip interesting isn't just the timing, but also the reasoning. While the stated purpose was to learn about the effects of climate change, conspiracy theorists suggest there could be more to the story. Then we have the case of the revered Apollo astronaut Buzz Aldrin, who journeyed to the South Pole at the age of 86. The official reason? A tourist visit. But Aldrin's trip, given his NASA background, spurred theories about potential extraterrestrial interests in the region. Rounding up our list is Prince Harry of the United Kingdom, who trekked to the South Pole with wounded veterans in a charity event. But was this just a charity event? Or was there something else to this royal visit? And let's not forget the Russian Orthodox Church's Patriarch Kirill, who also visited a Russian scientific base in Antarctica. His motive? To bless the continent, or was there a hidden reason? All these visits by people from different nations and fields, each with their own stated reasons, seem to suggest that there might be more happening on this icy, deserted continent than meets the eye. Given the constraints and difficulties of getting to Antarctica, one has to ask, why would these people from various parts of the world take the time and effort to visit this inhospitable land? And why do these visits often seem in secrecy or ambiguity? Is it merely a coincidence that these powerful figures chose to venture to the Earth's southernmost point? Or could there be clandestine motivations hidden beneath the iceberg? We can only hypothesize and wonder as Antarctica continues to keep its secrets well guarded. The allure of Antarctica doesn't end with its geopolitical intrigue or its VIP guest list. The land itself holds secrets that baffle scientists and thrill seekers alike. For instance, beneath its icy surface, Antarctica hides the Gamburtsev Mountains, a mountain range as grand as the Alps, entirely buried under miles of ice. Discovered in 1958 by Soviet scientists, these ghost mountains remain a mystery, with scientists still unsure how they formed or why they haven't eroded away. But it's not just mountains that Antarctica keeps under wraps. Lake Vostok, which I mentioned earlier, is another of Antarctica's hidden marvels. It's one of the largest lakes on Earth by volume, and it's been sealed off from the world under kilometers of ice for 15 million years. Who knows what kind of life might have evolved in its dark, cold waters over such a vast span of time? Even stranger are the eerie phenomena that occur on the icy continent. Take the Blood Falls, for instance, a flow of iron-rich water that stains the Taylor Glacier a horrifying shade of red. Or the massive, nearly perfect circular hole in the sea ice, known as a polynya, that keeps appearing and disappearing in the Weddell Sea, baffling scientists. Then there's the Bloop, an ultra-low-frequency, high-amplitude underwater sound detected by NOAA in 1997. While scientists think the noise is most likely from icequakes, others believe it could be a giant, unknown sea creature lurking in the icy depths. But perhaps the biggest secret of all is the mystery of what lies beneath the ice. Scientists have found evidence of warm caves heated by volcanic activity that could potentially host life. Additionally, satellite imagery has revealed strange, unnatural-looking structures beneath the ice, leading to wild speculations about lost civilizations or even extraterrestrial bases. These elements, together with the political and historical mysteries we've discussed, make Antarctica a hotbed of intrigue. Despite its frigid temperatures, what secrets does this icy fortress still hold? Only time, exploration, and science can tell. Let's begin with the question, what is the only continent on Earth without a native human population? If you guessed Antarctica, you'd be correct. This naturally leads to the question, who owns Antarctica? Interestingly, nobody does. In fact, the continent is governed by a pioneering piece of legislation, known as the Antarctic Treaty. The Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959, is an unprecedented international agreement that has been in place for over half a century. This groundbreaking pact, ratified by 54 parties as of now, suspends national claims to territory in Antarctica, making the continent a shared scientific preserve. But what's even more fascinating is that it prohibits military activity, mineral mining, nuclear testing, and nuclear waste disposal. Imagine the foresight it took to keep one of Earth's last frontiers free from exploitation and conflict. Antarctica, in essence, represents a remarkable experiment in international cooperation and peace. It's an attempt to maintain the pristine condition of the continent and its ecosystems for future generations. The treaty also encourages freedom of scientific investigation and cooperation between nations. And this cooperation has led to some monumental discoveries in fields like geology, glaciology, and climatology. Not to mention, it has provided us with invaluable insights into the history of our planet and the effects of climate change. Now, while all these regulations are in place, the treaty doesn't explicitly ban human presence or certain types of activity. It has specific provisions for inspection and observation by any party, at any time. However, the mystery deepens when we learn that while countries have the liberty to send scientific expeditions, many reports suggest that VIPs and important figures have visited the icy continent under hushed circumstances. So, why would these important personalities want to visit the coldest, windiest, driest, and arguably the harshest place on Earth? Is it the allure of the untamed wilderness? Or are there secret meetings taking place beneath the guise of scientific expeditions? The conjectures only add to the aura of mystery that surrounds Antarctica. The icy fortress of Antarctica, filled with political VIP visitors, daring missions, and natural wonders that defy comprehension. Whether it's secret meetings, ghost mountains, eerie sounds, or potential extraterrestrial bases, Antarctica continues to baffle, intrigue, and fascinate us. As the world advances, so does our curiosity and our ability to explore these remaining frontiers. Only time, exploration, and science will reveal the full scope of Antarctica's secrets. Until then, we'll keep asking questions and seeking answers. Antarctica, Earth's southernmost and most unexplored continent, has long beckoned explorers, scientists, and those with an insatiable curiosity for the unknown. Beneath its icy facade lies a complex world of geological wonders, biological richness, and mysterious phenomena that both challenge our understanding and ignite our imagination. From the hidden mountains and ancient forests entombed in ice to unexplained anomalies that spark wild speculation, Antarctica's secrets are as vast and profound as the icy wilderness itself. Join me as we embark on a journey to unravel the top 5 mysteries of this frozen land, venturing into the realms of science, history, and interesting conspiracy. Antarctica, the frozen continent at the end of the world, has long been a source of fascination and intrigue. Its icy expanses hold not only the geological and biological wonders previously mentioned, but also a series of unexplained anomalies and mysterious occurrences that have captivated the imagination of many. Some researchers and enthusiasts have speculated about the existence of hidden or lost civilizations buried beneath Antarctica's ice. Satellite images revealing unusual structures and symmetrical patterns under the ice have fueled these theories. While most scientists attribute these features to natural geological formations, the idea of ancient human settlements frozen in time continues to capture the imagination. Discoveries of such civilizations, if ever proven, would indeed rewrite human history and our understanding of early migration patterns. In recent years, there have been reports of world leaders and prominent billionaires visiting Antarctica, sometimes without clear explanations for their trips. These visits have spurred a wave of conspiracy theories and speculations about secret meetings, hidden bases, and undisclosed scientific experiments. While some believe these journeys are tied to climate research or philanthropy, others think they could be linked to something more mysterious. Antarctica is home to magnetic anomalies that have puzzled scientists. Some areas exhibit unexpected variations in the Earth's magnetic field, which cannot be easily explained by known geological features. These anomalies have led to speculations about hidden metallic objects or underground structures, further adding to the mystique of the continent. Researchers have recorded strange sounds emanating from the ice in certain parts of Antarctica. These haunting, otherworldly noises are likely the result of natural phenomena, such as wind resonating through ice crevasses or the movement of ice sheets. However, they have also sparked curiosity and speculation about unknown or supernatural forces at play. Antarctica's isolation and otherworldliness have given rise to myths and legends that permeate popular culture. Stories of hidden entrances to Hollow Earth, secret bases, and extraterrestrial encounters all find a place in the lore surrounding this frozen land. While much of the intrigue surrounding Antarctica's unexplained anomalies falls into the realm of speculation and conspiracy, these mysteries serve as a reminder of our endless curiosity. When we think of Antarctica, we often envision a land of ice and snow, a frozen wilderness untouched by time. But the discovery of ancient forests and fossilized remains tells a different story, a story of a green and vibrant past hidden beneath layers of ice. Approximately 90 million years ago, during the Cretaceous period, parts of Antarctica were teeming with life. The climate was much warmer, and lush temperate forests flourished along the coastlines. These ancient forests were home to various types of plants, including ferns, conifers, and flowering plants, as well as a variety of insect and animal species. The evidence of this prehistoric paradise has been preserved in fossil form, with discoveries ranging from petrified wood to ancient leaf impressions. These fossils paint a vivid picture of a landscape that was once as biologically diverse as any modern forest. But the ancient forests of Antarctica hold more than just plant fossils. Researchers have also unearthed remnants of marine reptiles, fish, and even dinosaur bones. These discoveries provide valuable insights into the ecosystems that once thrived in this now frozen land and contribute to our broader understanding of life on Earth during the Mesozoic era. The discovery and study of these fossils are no small feat. Unearthing these ancient remnants requires painstaking excavation in some of the harshest conditions on the planet. The extreme cold, powerful winds, and logistical challenges of working in Antarctica make every discovery a monumental achievement. Yet the rewards are profound. The fossils found in Antarctica offer a unique window into a time when the continents were arranged differently and global climate patterns were unlike those of today. By studying these ancient organisms and their environment, scientists can unravel the complex history of our planet's climate, geological evolution, and biological diversity. Deep beneath the miles-thick ice of East Antarctica lies a hidden geological marvel, the Gamburtsev Mountains. This mountain range, comparable in size to the Alps, is completely concealed by the vast ice sheet that covers the continent. Its discovery in the 1950s during a Soviet expedition was a startling revelation, sparking questions and curiosity that persist to this day. The very existence of the Gamburtsev Mountains is a geological puzzle. Unlike most mountain ranges, they are not located at the edges of tectonic plates where mountains commonly form. Instead, they're situated at the heart of the continent, far from the typical geological forces responsible for mountain building. How did such a massive mountain range come to be in this unlikely location? Scientists have proposed several theories to explain the origin of the Gamburtsev Mountains. Some believe they were formed over 1 billion years ago during the assembly of the supercontinent Rodinia and have been preserved due to the unique geological conditions of Antarctica. Others suggest that they might be the result of a more recent geological activity, such as the collision of ancient land masses or upwelling of magma from the Earth's mantle. Exploring the Gamburtsev Mountains presents enormous challenges. The ice covering the range is often more than 2 miles thick, making conventional geological studies impossible. To see beneath the ice, researchers have utilized cutting-edge technology such as ice-penetrating radar and seismic imaging. These tools have revealed glimpses of the hidden peaks and valleys, but much remains to be discovered. The study of the Gamburtsev Mountains is not just a curiosity. It has broader implications for our understanding of the Earth's geological processes. By uncovering the secrets of these hidden mountains, scientists can gain insights into the forces that shape our planet, the dynamics of ice sheets, and even the history of climate change. The ice above the mountains contains valuable records of the Earth's past climate, offering clues to the future behavior of Antarctica's ice and its potential impact on global sea levels. The Gamburtsev Mountains are a reminder of the awe-inspiring complexity of our planet. Hidden from view, they challenge our perceptions. We are reminded that even in the most explored age of human history, our world still holds secrets waiting to be discovered. Buried beneath more than 2 miles of solid ice in the heart of Antarctica lies Lake Vostok, one of the largest and most mysterious subglacial lakes on Earth. Sealed off from the outside world for more than 15 million years, Lake Vostok is a hidden realm that has piqued the curiosity of scientists, explorers, and dreamers alike. Lake Vostok's isolation has preserved it in a state that might closely resemble the conditions found on icy moons like Jupiter's Europa. The extreme cold, immense pressure, and complete absence of sunlight have created an environment that challenges our understanding of where life can exist. Yet the lake might harbor microbial organisms that have adapted to these harsh conditions, potentially providing a unique glimpse into the very limits of life on Earth. The exploration of Lake Vostok is a challenging endeavor that pushes the boundaries of technology and human ingenuity. Drilling through the massive ice sheet without contaminating the pristine waters below requires precise techniques and careful planning. The Russian Vostok station, situated above the lake, has been instrumental in these exploratory efforts, with scientists successfully reaching the lake's surface in 2012. Yet the secrets of Lake Vostok are not easily unveiled. The few samples obtained so far have revealed tantalizing hints of microbial life, but a comprehensive understanding of what lies within the lake's dark waters remains elusive. The complexity of studying an environment so remote and so carefully shielded by nature has made every discovery a hard-fought victory. The scientific significance of Lake Vostok extends beyond the bounds of biology and into the realms of geology, climatology, and planetary science. The ice sheet above the lake contains layers of ice deposited over hundreds of thousands of years, acting as a chronological record of Earth's climate. By studying these layers, scientists can reconstruct past climate conditions, shedding light on the Earth's climatic history and helping to predict future changes. In the remote wilderness of Antarctica's McMurdo Dry Valleys, a startling phenomenon captivates the eyes of those fortunate enough to witness it. The Blood Falls, a 5-story waterfall, oozes from the Taylor Glacier's ice like a slow bleed, staining the pure white snow with a color that can only be described as blood red. But what causes this unsettling sight? The answer is both scientific and deeply fascinating. The red hue is the result of a high concentration of iron salts in the water, which rusts upon contact with the air. But the source of this iron-rich water is where the real mystery begins. Trapped beneath the glacier, a subglacial lake has been isolated from the atmosphere for nearly 2 million years. Within this dark, saline environment, an ancient microbial ecosystem thrives, cut off from sunlight and surviving in extreme cold and salinity. The study of these microbial life forms has opened new doors in understanding life's adaptability. These extremophiles have developed unique biochemical pathways to sustain their existence in conditions that were once thought to be inhospitable for life. As scientists study these organisms, they unravel secrets that may provide insights into the possibilities of life on other planets, especially in environments similar to the cold, dark brine beneath Antarctica's glaciers. But the exploration of the Blood Falls is not without its challenges. Drilling into the ice to access the subglacial lake requires specialized equipment and careful consideration of environmental impacts. Researchers must balance the desire to uncover the mysteries of this ancient ecosystem with the need to preserve its delicate balance. Have you ever pondered over the ice-covered wilderness at the bottom of our world, Antarctica? A place that feels so alien yet is a part of our home planet, brimming with extreme conditions, profound isolation, and most intriguingly, secrets. As we dive into this icy expanse, we find that Antarctica holds a captivating allure. This is the coldest, windiest, and driest continent on Earth. Here, it's not uncommon to witness snowstorms that can last for weeks, winds that reach speeds of up to 200 miles per hour, and temperatures that plunge to an unimaginable -128.6 degrees Fahrenheit. The inhospitable environment makes it one of the least explored places on our planet. Yet the most fascinating part is, Antarctica wasn't always this icy wonderland. Picture lush forests, warm environments, and a rich array of life forms, from towering dinosaurs to a diversity of plant species. That was Antarctica millions of years ago during the late Cretaceous period. But the transition from this paradise to the frozen desert we see today remains one of the greatest climatic mysteries. What brought about this drastic shift? Well, scientists believe that the movement of tectonic plates isolated Antarctica from other continents, leading to a circular ocean current that trapped cold water around it. But the full story of Antarctica's icy transformation is still being unraveled, layer by layer, much like the ice cores that scientists dig up to study past climates. In this vast expanse of ice and mystery, every discovery only seems to unearth more questions. Antarctica, the last frontier on Earth, has been a stage for some of the most intriguing and unexplained disappearances in human history. While some may attribute these to the harsh and unpredictable nature of the icy wilderness, others find a deeper mystery wrapped in the cold white sheets of the Antarctic. One such story is of the British polar explorer Belgrave Ninnis. During the 1911 Australasian Antarctic expedition, led by Douglas Mawson, Ninnis, along with Mawson and Xavier Mertz, embarked on a journey to chart the icy wilderness. However, in a cruel twist of fate, Ninnis plunged into a hidden crevasse along with the expedition's best dogs and most of their supplies. His body was never recovered, and his loss greatly impacted the expedition and particularly Mawson, who barely survived the ordeal. A more modern mystery is the case of Carl Dish, an American scientist stationed at the Byrd Station in 1965. One day, Dish walked out of the station for a routine task and never returned. Despite extensive search efforts in the severe conditions, no trace of him was ever found. To this day, his disappearance remains one of the unsolved mysteries of Antarctica. Another strange disappearance occurred in 1947, involving the infamous Operation High Jump led by Admiral Richard Byrd. The operation ended prematurely and several crew members unexpectedly lost their lives. Official records attribute these losses to harsh weather and aircraft crashes. But conspiracy theories suggest something more nefarious, involving secret Nazi bases and even UFOs. Living in Antarctica is a risky endeavor with its unforgiving weather and isolation. Each disappearance underscores not only the personal tragedies of those lost, but also the sheer power and mystery of this final frontier. Even with our modern technology and understanding, Antarctica continues to guard its secrets closely. In a region dominated by snow and ice, any structure that deviates from this frozen landscape captures immediate attention. Satellite images from 2012 unveiled a potential anomaly in Antarctica's icy expanse, a structure bearing an uncanny resemblance to a pyramid. The pyramid-like formation covered in snow sparked a flurry of speculation and discussion. The formation is perfectly shaped, suggesting artificial construction rather than natural formation. For some, this is evidence of a lost civilization that once thrived in Antarctica when it was a much warmer place. Ancient astronaut theorists propose that these pyramids were constructed by extraterrestrial beings that visited Earth thousands of years ago. But mainstream scientists offer a more down-to-earth explanation. They believe that the so-called pyramids are merely nunataks, peaks of rock that protrude through ice or snow. Nunataks are common in heavily glaciated areas and can appear pyramid-like, particularly when eroded by wind and frost. Yet the exact origin of these structures remains unknown. Exploring these regions is an incredibly challenging task due to Antarctica's unforgiving climate and remote location. Until a thorough investigation can be made, the origins of the Antarctic pyramids will remain a mystery, nestled within the frozen extremes of our planet. Another interesting theory linked to the pyramids of Antarctica is the existence of an ancient, advanced civilization under the ice. Based on ancient texts and maps, like the Piri Reis map that accurately depicts Antarctica without ice, some argue that a civilization, advanced enough to build pyramids, once flourished there. However, most scientists dismiss this theory, suggesting that the map interpretations are incorrect and that the pyramid-like structures are natural formations. The Antarctic pyramids mystery continues to fascinate and stir curiosity, with every theory providing a new perspective on our understanding of Earth's history. The unforgiving and inaccessible nature of Antarctica adds to this intrigue, making it a place of eternal fascination. In the realm of Antarctic mysteries, few are as intriguing or enshrouded in controversy as Operation High Jump. Led by Rear Admiral Richard E. Byrd of the United States Navy in 1946–47, this expedition to Antarctica was officially described as a scientific endeavor aimed at exploring the continent and establishing a research base, Little America before. But let's think about this. Operation High Jump was at the time the largest Antarctic expedition ever undertaken. With a task force of over 4,700 men, 13 ships and numerous aircraft, this scientific mission was armed to the teeth. The sheer scale of the operation has raised questions about its true purpose. Was it just scientific curiosity, or was there something more to this journey to the bottom of the world? Here's where it gets even weirder. According to some reports, Admiral Byrd warned about enemy fighters that can fly from pole to pole with incredible speed upon his return. This unusual statement stirred numerous theories, including encounters with unknown advanced technology or even extraterrestrial forces. Conspiracy theories abound, ranging from a secret mission to destroy a hidden Nazi base in Antarctica to a search for the entrance to a suspected hollow Earth. Some even suggest that Operation High Jump was a cover-up for a secret nuclear weapons testing program. The official report by the US Navy states that the expedition was terminated due to early ice formation and personnel safety. However, given the premature end to the expedition, just weeks into what was supposed to be a 6-month mission, the abrupt conclusion has added to the layers of intrigue surrounding Operation High Jump. While most scientists and historians stick to the official narrative of a scientific expedition encountering unforeseen challenges, others continue to speculate on what truly occurred during Operation High Jump. Despite the wealth of theories, the full details of what transpired during this mysterious mission remain locked beneath the ice of official secrecy and speculative conjecture. Just like the pyramids and disappearances, Operation High Jump adds yet another piece to the intricate puzzle of Antarctica's mysteries. Let's delve into Antarctica's many mysteries. Ever heard of Lake Vostok? It's the largest of more than 400 known subglacial lakes in Antarctica. Hidden under more than 2 miles of ice, Lake Vostok is about the size of Lake Ontario and has been sealed off from the world for up to 25 million years. What might be lurking in its depths? In 2012, Russian scientists finally reached the lake after more than 2 decades of drilling. The samples they obtained revealed the presence of an astonishing variety of life forms, many of which couldn't be matched to known species. Could these be ancient organisms trapped in time and evolved in isolation? Or might they hint at the types of life forms that could exist in similar extreme environments, say the icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn? This alien world beneath the ice has opened up new possibilities for astrobiology, the study of life's potential beyond Earth. Another unsolved Antarctic mystery involves the Piri Reis map. This map, drawn in 1513 by the Ottoman Admiral Piri Reis, shows the Atlantic coast of Europe, Africa and the Americas in remarkable detail for its time. But its depiction of Antarctica is the most controversial part. The map seems to show the subglacial topography of Queen Maud Land in Antarctica, a feature unknown until the advent of modern seismic surveying. How could this knowledge appear on a map drawn more than 500 years ago? Despite numerous theories, the mystery remains. Lastly, there's the haunting story of the Endurance, a ship led by explorer Ernest Shackleton in an ill-fated 1914 attempt to cross Antarctica. The ship was trapped and eventually crushed by sea ice, forcing the crew to embark on a perilous journey to safety. Remarkably, all of them survived, but the wreck of the Endurance has never been found. In the silent white wilderness of Antarctica, countless stories are waiting to be discovered and understood. For every question we answer, it seems a new one appears like a fractal pattern in the snow, reminding us of the beauty of exploration and the thrill of the unknown. So there you have it, Antarctica, a land that seems to hold more questions than answers. Its icy expanse has been a stage for enigmatic tales of mysterious structures, inexplicable disappearances, and Operation High Jump's elusive motives. Each mystery, a thread in the tapestry of human curiosity. But as we attempt to unravel these mysteries, we must remember that it's the pursuit of the unknown that drives us forward. This is the essence of human curiosity. It's not about finding all the answers. It's about the thrill of the quest and the questions that keep us searching. The call of the unknown, the allure of uncharted territory, the thrill of new discovery. They're powerful motivators. They have driven us to the depths of the oceans, to the peaks of the highest mountains, and even out into the farthest reaches of space. But sometimes the unknown bites back. Today we're stepping into the icy, desolate, yet mesmerizing world of Antarctica. And our guides for this chilling journey are none other than the brave, or perhaps the foolhardy crew of the Belgica, who embarked on a perilous Antarctic expedition in the late 19th century. What can their ill-fated voyage teach us about human perseverance, the power of ingenuity, and the high price of exploration? Let's dive in. Picture this. It's August 1897. A sturdy oak-framed ship with triple-sheathed hull named Belgica embarks from the historic city of Antwerp, Belgium. This three-masted vessel, constructed with the strength to withstand the fierce Antarctic conditions, was destined to be a part of history as it set sail under the Belgian flag. The expedition was captained by Adrien de Gerlache, a driven, audacious 31-year-old Belgian naval officer. It was his spirit of adventure that prompted him to invest his personal fortune into this expedition. His motivation was not mere territorial conquest, as it was with so many explorers of the age. No, de Gerlache was driven by scientific curiosity, with the intention to explore the largely uncharted Antarctic region and contribute to the understanding of its mysterious icy wilderness. The crew, handpicked by de Gerlache himself, was as diverse as they were courageous. The Belgica was manned by an international team, which included the American doctor Frederick Cook and Roald Amundsen, a young Norwegian who would later be famed for leading the first successful expedition to the South Pole. As the Belgica cut through the North Sea and later through the unforgiving waters of the South Atlantic, excitement among the crew was palpable. They were bound by a shared sense of purpose, each man knowing that they were on the brink of a groundbreaking expedition that could expand the world as they knew it. But, as they would soon discover, Antarctica's icy seas had other plans. Upon reaching the Antarctic waters, the Belgica was greeted with a sight that was as beautiful as it was eerie. Massive icebergs floated like spectral monoliths in the ocean, their peaks illuminated by the ethereal Antarctic light. The silence of the landscape was broken only by the harsh scraping of ice against the Belgica's reinforced hull. These first encounters with the Antarctic landscape served as a chilling reminder of the perils that lay ahead. On February 28, 1898, the Belgica got entrapped in the Antarctic pack ice. The crew watched with growing concern as the sea around them turned into a vast plain of solid ice. Trapped far from civilization, in a sea frozen into immobility, the Belgica and her crew were left to the mercy of the unforgiving Antarctic winter. Imagine the psychological impact this would have had on the crew. Trapped in an icy prison, with the darkness of the polar night descending upon them, the crew had to face the unsettling reality that they were stuck in the ice with no means of escape. However, as daunting as their predicity was, de Gerlache insisted on maintaining scientific operations. The crew continued to take meteorological and magnetic readings, hunted for penguins and seals, and dug ice tunnels for temperature readings. In many ways, the Belgica's enforced halt turned it into an ad hoc polar research station. For the next several months, the ship was enveloped in almost continuous darkness. The days and nights blurred into an unending twilight, punctuated only by the green and pink flickers of the aurora australis. The stunning beauty of the southern lights offered a stark contrast to the bleak reality of their predicament. The Belgica was lost in the coldest place on Earth, with no guarantee of ever escaping its icy grip. As the full severity of the Antarctic winter began to set in, life aboard the Belgica became increasingly grim. The lack of sunlight and the monotony of the ice-locked seascape took a toll on the crew's mental health. The polar night, with its unending darkness, is psychologically unnerving in a way few of us can truly understand. The temperature outside regularly plunged below -30 degrees Celsius, which was so cold that it caused the ship's outer hull to groan and creak as it contracted. The men had to take shifts to chip away the ice accumulating on the ship's exterior to prevent it from being crushed. Their diet, consisting largely of tinned food, was hardly appetizing or nutritious, and it began to affect their health. Scurvy, caused by vitamin C deficiency, began to appear among the crew. The ship's cat, Nansen, named after the famed Norwegian explorer, sadly became one of the first victims, losing its life to the freezing conditions. Conditions worsened when the ship's doctor, Frederick Cook, identified the first signs of polar madness, or polar hysteria, as he termed it, among the crew. The unending darkness, extreme cold, and monotonous isolated conditions led to symptoms of severe depression, anxiety, and paranoia. Cook was not just the ship's doctor, but also its psychologist, treating both the physical and psychological illnesses on board. The grim winter brought them face to face not just with physical hardships, but a psychological battle of endurance. In these harsh conditions, the men had to fight not just for survival, but for their sanity as well. When faced with such a daunting survival situation, the crew of the Belgica had to get creative. Dr. Cook, realizing the lack of vitamins in their diet, suggested hunting for fresh meat. The frozen wasteland was not completely devoid of life, and they were able to supplement their diet with Antarctic seabirds and penguins, dramatically improving their health. Crew morale was another critical issue to address. Imagine being stuck in a cold, dark, monotonous environment for an extended period. The psychological stress is unimaginable. To counter this, the crew initiated a daily routine that included chores, scientific work, and even social activities. Regular meals, group reading sessions, and music performances were organized to break the monotony and bring some semblance of normalcy. In addition, to fight the darkness-induced depression, a rudimentary light therapy was devised. Sunlight, or its absence, can significantly impact our mood, sleep, and overall well-being. Recognizing this, Dr. Cook installed a light room where the crew members could bathe in the light emitted by the ship's carbon arc lamps, simulating sunlight and staving off the worst effects of the polar darkness. This creative solution was, in essence, one of the earliest uses of phototherapy, a practice now widespread in modern medicine to treat conditions like seasonal affective disorder. Despite these measures, surviving the harsh Antarctic winter was not an easy task. The crew battled frostbite, near starvation, madness, and despair. Some of them, such as the Belgian sailor Augusta Karl Wienke, tragically didn't make it. But against all odds, most of the crew survived, waiting desperately for the summer thaw to free their ship from the ice's grip. Finally, after months of grueling hardship, the summer sun began to peek over the horizon, hinting at the end of the long Antarctic winter. But despite the slight warming, the Belgica remained firmly trapped in the ice. Survival had shifted into another phase: escape. Dr. Cook and Amundsen, already having demonstrated remarkable leadership in maintaining the crew's morale and health, now turned their attention to freeing the Belgica from its icy prison. They understood that waiting passively could mean another winter trapped in the ice, a scenario they knew the crew could not survive, so they devised a plan to manually break and saw the ice around the Belgica. It was a monumental task, given the ice was several feet thick, and the ship was trapped for nearly a mile's length. Armed with pickaxes, saws, and shovels, the crew labored diligently, chipping away at the frozen ocean. They even attempted to blast the ice with explosives, only to find the shock could damage the Belgica's hull. After weeks of grueling labor, they made progress. The crew, in a feat of extraordinary determination, carved a channel nearly 900 meters long and wide enough for the Belgica to pass through. However, there was another obstacle. The ship's engines, unused and unmaintained for more than a year, were in dire condition. But with some improvised repairs and the combined strength of the desperate crew, they managed to get the engines working just enough. On February 15, 1899, the crew of the Belgica, tired, worn but unbroken, began their journey through the channel they had carved. With the ship shuddering and groaning against the pressure of the ice, they made slow progress. It was an arduous and nerve-wracking journey. But on March 14, 1899, more than a year after they first became trapped, the Belgica finally broke free from the ice and sailed into the open waters of the Antarctic Ocean, marking the end of their harrowing ordeal. This escape from the ice was not just a triumph over the harsh Antarctic environment, it was a testament to human resilience, ingenuity, and the indomitable will to survive. Despite the odds, they had managed to turn a desperate situation into a story of survival and scientific discovery. And in doing so, the crew of the Belgica etched their names into the annals of polar exploration. The Belgica expedition may have been a harrowing and grueling ordeal, but its impact extends far beyond the survival story. The team, led by the indomitable Gerlach and Cook, collected a wealth of scientific data that would contribute significantly to our understanding of Antarctica. The crew's observations, measurements, and samples helped shape the scientific community's perceptions of the world's most remote and inhospitable continent. They catalogued new species, took extensive meteorological data, and mapped parts of the Antarctic coast, providing a foundation for future expeditions. Moreover, the psychological impact of the long, dark winter and the crew's struggle with polar madness contributed to an early understanding of seasonal affective disorder. Cook's method of using a carefully balanced diet to combat scurvy would inform future Antarctic expeditions and change maritime health practices. And so the saga of the Belgica serves as a chilling reminder of the cost of venturing into the unknown, the fine line between bravery and folly, and the incredible feats humans can accomplish in the face of adversity. The crew of the Belgica didn't conquer Antarctica. Instead, they fell victim to its unforgiving nature. Yet, through perseverance, teamwork, and a good deal of desperate ingenuity, they overcame their ordeal, offering us an awe-inspiring testament to human resilience. As we gaze upon the vast expanse of the Antarctic through their eyes, we are humbly reminded that the unknown still holds many secrets and challenges, even as our thirst for exploration continues. And as always, thanks for watching.